Over the past 2 years, controversy surrounding homelessness and drug use in Olympia, Washington have been a central theme for City Council, the local police force, neighborhood associations, and downtown businesses alike. City ordinances such as the panhandling mandate, which prohibits panhandling within 25 feet of a parking meter or ATM, the alcohol impact areas, which prohibit the sale of malt liquor within the downtown corridor, the camping ban, which prohibits the sitting, lying, or sleeping on any city property, and the most recent drug-free zones, which increase penalties for drug-related offenses within 1,000 feet of some of Olympia's most used public spaces, have all been enacted in an attempt to minimize the drug and transient activity in the state capital's downtown. Critics of the city's new regulations say that these decrees do not help solve any of the devastating harms or core causes of chronic homelessness and drug use. Concerns have been raised that these statutes simply push people who have already been neglected by society and the state further from resources they really need. EGYHOP, or the Emma Goldman Youth and Homeless Outreach Project, have, for nearly 17 years, decided to combat views such as city officials and business owners have adopted and taken to the streets to work with and find out what the resident houseless and drug-using community really want and need. Hi, Krista.
Hello, Max.
Do you want to say where we are right now and what time it is?
Alright, it's 2:15 in the morning, and we're sitting at the front desk of the Interfaith Shelter.
I spoke with longtime EGYHOP volunteer Krista Kohler during one of her overnight shifts at the new low barrier shelter in downtown Olympia. Would you mind just telling me about this organization called EGYHOP, the history of that you know of, the mission, how it works, all the little details, the remedial stuff?
All the little details. Wow. It was born out of this idea to support people who have been forgotten and marginalized in society. And that includes self-identified drug users and people experiencing homelessness. And I feel like the idea was born out of a grassroots hope to support our vulnerable community members.
Grassroots versus
from like the top down.
Krista went on to explain that EGYHOP is a loosely organized direct service group whose main goal is to meet people where they are at and provide the most basic resources for survival. Operating 7 nights a week, 365 days a year, volunteers riding bicycles equipped with trailers hit the streets delivering coffee, camping gear, first aid and wound care supplies, clothes, blankets, run a syringe exchange and naloxone distribution program, and...
We got socks. We do a sock exchange.
What's a sock exchange?
A sock exchange is a really cool and really gnarly thing where we give out clean socks and we also ask to get socks back from people. And so we take their dirty socks and we wash them and then we redistribute them.
What does that smell like?
Oh boy, the smell. It's intoxicating, really. We've got these great bins that contain all the socks. And that stink, it can stay with you forever.
Starting at about 5 p.m., volunteers head to the shed. A 20 by 12 garage space that has been home base to EGYHOP for the last several years. After loading carts with the evening supplies, volunteers head out to Batdorf and Bronson, the bread peddler, and Cafe Vita to collect leftover coffee and food. The true magic of EGYHOP begins to show after the edible donations have been picked up and the volunteers begin to set up shop in the downtown corridor.
So setting up shop is always like a really important
part of the process.
It's part of the process. Yeah, because to me it's like creating an intentional hangout spot on the streets.
Like a hub?
Like a hub.
A hub for who?
Yeah, it's pretty much a hub for anyone that wants a hub and needs some people to hang out with and talk with.
The focus that is EGYHOP is so much more than service providers giving participants consumable goods. Observing the group in action, one sees much more laughing, hugging, crying, catching up, problem-solving, crisis intervention, love, and support than actual goods consumed. It is solidarity, not charity. A cup of coffee and a cigarette on a rainy Northwest night where connection is made and real change begins to happen. I asked 10-year EGYHOP veteran and co-founder of the new low barrier shelter, Cassie Burke, about why EGYHOP differs from other service organizations. I've heard both from workshops and from the harm reduction conference this kind of idea of wingnut to wingnut affinity,
Mm-hmm.
something that Iggy Hop holds that maybe other social services don't. Could you talk about what that means?
Yeah, I think that part of what makes Iggy Hop so amazing is that no one has ever been paid. No one has ever taken any kind of compensation in terms of money for the work that they do. And I think that it's kind of a wingnut thing to do, to want to, go out at nighttime and it's raining and freezing and hang out with people in various states of chaos and trauma, just because you feel so strongly that there's a need that's not being met. And it's just kind of a crazy thing.
Like most organizations, Iggy Hop is a band-aid solution to the overwhelming and devastating effects of poverty and marginalization. When I asked volunteers about their hopes and dreams for the future, I was met with a crushing sense that things will not get better without an end to poverty, and with it, the abolition of racism, sexism, homophobia, the military, medical, and prison industrial complexes, and the countless other constructs and institutions that lead people into lives of poverty, drug use, and homelessness. But the model Iggy Hop follows, one that stems from compassion, experience, harm reduction, and an anti-oppression lens, sticks out as something distinct, something that truly makes a difference in people's lives, something that should be modeled by other organizations that are working to better their communities and the lives of their community members. Iggy Hop treats volunteers and participants as if they are friends and family. When your friends and family are slowly dying and have nowhere else to turn, you use all of your available resources, no matter how small, to assist them in what they want and need.
If everybody on the streets of downtown Olympia was like, I just want fried chicken and pizza every night, like, we would spend all of our money doing that and we wouldn't have to talk to anybody about it.
Special thanks to Krista Kohler, Cassie Burke, the Interfaith Work Shelter, and all the Iggy Hop volunteers. You make this world much more tolerable. Thank you.